Why you looking so hard? You worried about the wrong play, man. Go look in the mirror. Dust. You on my page before you brush your teeth. You stuck in my ground while I'm in the streets. You worrying about my bag, worrying about my wins. You ain't worrying about your pockets looking paper thin. Look at you, man, musty, can't be trusted. Hating on my shine cause your whole life busted. You could be doing so much if you looked at you, but you rather look at me. That's the bomb in you. You complaining about the work that I got in the vault, but you ain't willing to undo it. That's your own downfall. I'm not sorry, I don't care, I don't feel no pity. You a clown in the suburbs, I'm the man of the city. You looking through my window with a greedy eye, instead of in the mirror asking who am I. You a hater, you a watch, you a non-starter. While I'm climbing up the charts, yeah, I'm going harder. Stop looking through my window. Go look inside your mirror. You worry about my downfall, that's why your vision ain't clear. You're dusty. Stop looking through my window. Go look inside your mirror. You could be winning too, bro, winning too, but you rather be a failure. I don't feel you, I don't see you, I don't hear you. You just a gnat in my ear, I just brush you off. You just mad cause I'm the boss and you looking soft. You ain't willing to do the work that I've done. I was up at 4 a.m., you was having fun. I was 72 hours fasting, getting my mind right. You was on the timeline, starting up a new fight, but the fight ain't with me. Man, the fight is with yourself. You could have the same damn drive, you could have the wealth, but you rather be a critic, you rather be a troll. While I'm knocking down walls at the Super Bowl, I don't feel no pity, I don't feel remorse that you chose to stay with you while I'm a damn horse. This a race and you ain't even at the starting line. Too busy drawing pictures of my finish line. Stop looking through my window. Go look inside your mirror. You worried about my downfall, that's why your vision ain't clear. Stop looking through my window. Go look inside your mirror. You could be winning too, bro, winning too, but you rather be a failure. Let's get it. My focus is on gold, my focus is on winning. My focus is on the next chapter, just beginning. I'm too busy, man, my calendar is packed. I'm too busy building up, I'm too busy building stack. I'm coaching up the team, I'm on the max, I'm on the string. I'm building in the world, I'm living out the dream. And you are not a factor, you are not a threat. You were just a bad investment, you were bad bet. I'm not sorry for you, I'm not sorry for the facts that I'm out here running up the score to the max. I don't see you, you are invisible to me, cause I'm everything you're jealous of, scared to be. Real talk, if you took a little time and focus on your own success instead of on my damn downfall, you wouldn't be so dusty. Ha. Maybe you should try it if you wanna win, but you won't. Get a life, man. Stop watching mine. Go get some money.
Welcome. How is everyone doing today? Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. Can you believe that? We are just about halfway through the year. It is zooming by. I am excited. I am energized. We have so much work to do tonight. We're going to continue with our QA engineering spree, learning how to test AI models. We're going to be talking about Jensen Huang. We're going to be talking about Chinese EVs in the United States. Is that going to happen? And would you actually trust riding in one in the United States of America? And we're going to talk about the Meta lawsuit in New Mexico, $375 million judgment that they're fighting. And if they're going to be implementing age verification on their platforms more than they have now, that is our game plan for tonight. How is everyone doing? I am Tico Trouf. We are Engineers to Win. We are also nerdy by nature. We wear that with a badge of honor. All right. Before we jump into anything, right? Before we get into housekeeping or anything like that, I was scrolling on Google on like when you go to the left or not Google, but on my Android phone, you go to the left, it shows you like these new stuff. And I saw this promotion for this Ray Neo. I thought it was these Apple glasses, but apparently they're not. The company's called Ray Neo. I wanted to review that with you really quick to see like, because it piqued my interest. It really piqued my interest. So I wanted to pull this up real quick to see what exactly is this Ray Neo glasses and am I gonna buy it? I don't know. I have a list of things that I'm supposed to buy, but this might actually be very useful. I don't know yet. Let me go ahead and pull it up, and then let's just. It's like less than a minute video. I want to explore it with you real quick before we jump into anything. All right. That was. Let me pull up another one real quick. Let's go to this one. Let's take a look at this one instead. That one wasn't very informative. Let's take a look at this one. Put the sound back on. All right. We got it. You know, this tech stuff, it'll have you going crazy. Enough of the sound. Are you guys able to hear the sound? Oh, turn it off all the way. I don't know yet. $76 grams compact. Why does it hang off his face like that? So the reason that I'm looking at it is because I like the screen that comes up, but it's like, is it hanging off your face? Hold up. Let me see. Why is it hanging off his face like that? I don't like glasses to be that far away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. Might have to try it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It looks good on the website, but when you see it in the video, the way that it hangs out of his face, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is this a no-go or is this a maybe? Is it a maybe? Or is it like, nah, not worth it? Wait for something better. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Or let me know in the chat. All right. Let's get to some real stuff. All right. So quick housekeeping. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Allowing me to add value into your life. I appreciate every last one of you. Shout out to my tech barbarians over at techcoachrough.dev. We work so hard day in and day out. We have a Scrum night coming up on Sunday. We have our vibe coding show next Saturday. I have a special guest coming next Saturday. My business analyst friend's going to be sharing some insight on what do business analysts do and the work experience, all of that good stuff. And then we have so much information. I just released yesterday the video of Magnetar walking me through. I mean, it's Magnetar's voice, so it's like I'm being walked through from a voice telling me, like, directing my footsteps on how to how to move some crypto to my ledger. He walked me through the whole entire process. So he documents that. It's available at Tech the Dev. So that's the type of stuff that we do, different ideas, things like that. So shout out to all my tech barbarians working so hard day in and day out. Looking forward to seeing you guys for our Scrum Night this coming Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Shout out to my tech mercenaries, the YouTube channel members who keep this channel alive and well, reaching people across the entire universe. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We are the very, very best.
We the best.
And as always, let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
Tomorrow we have the bug bite being released. We're going to be reviewing 2 videos tomorrow. One, and it's about AI gone wild. You know how Rod Brown has his pastors gone wild. We have AI gone wild. The first story is AI deleting an entire production database for a company. I think they said they lost like maybe 3 months of data, something like that. And the other video is how AI system, which is supposed to identify guns on people, got officers to pull a weapon, to pull their firearm on some teenagers who had a bag of chips. So we're gonna be reviewing that tomorrow. Really, really exciting stuff. Look out for it. Going to be dropping tomorrow. All right. And then we have on Sunday, we're gonna be going live with working on the Speak Precisely app, the speech coaching app, and then we're gonna have, like I said earlier, Scrum Night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to seeing you all over the place. All right. So I am going to go and check the chat, say hello to my friends, and then we are going to get to work. So work break, and then that's gonna be it. I think I three of them, all right, whatever it is, 3 of them. All right. So let's go ahead and check the chat, and then we will go from there. I was testing out the chat, and Magnetar said pass. Shout out to my guy Magnetar. Welcome in, Magnetar. Got my guy Junior Largy in the building. Hits us with the what's up, family.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Magnetar says fair use. Yes, fair use. Does that really work? I don't know. And Junior says this looks ridiculous. Yeah, from the first video, I had no idea what they were talking about. But the second video makes a little bit more sense, but it doesn't offer any context. I don't like advertisements that are just music. Please tell me what you're showing me, but I don't know. Let me see. Junior says it's a bit. Of course. And Magnetar says he is the voice from above, from the side, from down below. He is my conscience. Oh, that. And you says these cops are stood beyond measure. Did you mean stupid? Did you mean
Stupid.
Is that what you meant? Just blindly relying on AI. Not the first time we've seen them believe AI so blindly. Look, remember the 50-year-old grandma, the 61 at the time 58-year-old grandpa. Now these teenagers at night, it is wild. So we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow on the episode of The Bug Bite. All right, let's get into it. Let's get to some work for tonight. Let's go over to. Let's do this. And I'm gonna go over. So we're gonna be doing QA engineering, testing, learning to test AI models with Google Gemma, what we've been doing. So let's go over to put up our first 20.
It's time to do.
All right, so I need PyCharm. Let's get some PyCharm in our lives. And we're gonna go, let's go over to, I think last time what we did was we were trying out like the prompt foo and stuff like that. It was pretty cool actually, now that I think about it, but we do want to get back into actually testing out these models. So let me go ahead and get a Gemini open. Let's see, Gemini. And let me see, is it here? Let me see. There we go. AI, I should move that. AI testing model blueprint. All right, so we're going to go over to, let's take a look at what we have over here first. Inside of our inside of PyCharm. Let's see what we got. So the LLM judge. Let's just run what we did last time, and then we'll pick up from there, right? So we were asking these models to Gemma 4 test language French hello world, assert bonjour le monde, Spanish where's the library, and typo, donde está la biblioteca? So let's run this just to see what happens, and then we will go from there. Oh, wait a second. Okay, that was something different. So I'm going to stop this one. This was the prompt foo that we were using, but let me stop this. So this one is this is the user complaint for the app we're talking about, and it's going to generate a bug. Is it using Gemma or is it using, let me see. Yeah, I believe it's using Gemma because we're not passing any parameters in it to use the other one. All right, cool. So I am, yeah, by default we're using Gemma, so I didn't pass in anything else to use, so that's cool. All right, I'll let it do that. We're gonna go over to here, and we're gonna see where we left off. Right, so the last thing that we did, it's running now. How do we use it? So we're using prompt foo, and we have the evaluation metrics. Execute the matrix, hit the run or evaluate button. The tool will act as an orchestrator to automatically call your local Ollama instance 4 times. Prompt 1 times case 1, prompt 1 times case 2, prompt 2 times case 1, prompt 2 times case 2. So let's actually try. Let me stop this. All right, so that's done. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to install Ollama and Gemma 4 on a different computer, so I can pull it from there, so I don't have to use all of my resources on this computer. But I didn't have a chance to do that, so we're just gonna run with this. How do we kick off prompt foo? Streamlit. What are we using? All right, prompt foo. I thought we had migrated to the other one. I don't know. Let's see. Set up the test case. I thought we were using the other one. I don't know. I forget. Let me see what we got going on here. All right. Once you have reviewed the grid and seen how the prompt variations handle inputs, are you ready to introduce element grading metrics to automatically mark those? Yes. How do we? So let me go ahead and run this command. Because I thought I had moved over to another one. Let's see. I wish there was a terminal that I could search Windows by. You know what? Let's see. Terminal to search. to search open terminals. To list active terminals in Linux. Yeah, that's not what I want. I want a customized terminal where I could search certain things. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. Let's go and do that. Invalid file. What do we have? All right, do we have prop foo in here? Let me see. I don't know where I installed prop foo. Let's go here and let's do. Let me see. Where did I install this? Install launch. So it says CD. All right. So we have, okay, so it's in a folder. All right, let's try that. Let's go over here. Oh, I think I have it in PyCharm. And then prompt tools. And if we do this like that, there we go. And then if we go here, because I don't remember if we ever got this to work right. I don't think this is the one I was using. Let me check something else. Well, so we got this. Build a custom visual matrix. It's running now. How do we use it? I think we pivoted from this. Let me see. Anyways, we're gonna do this. We can revisit these tools later in the future. Let's get back to AI, to testing AI models. And before we went down this rabbit hole of prompt foo and prompt whatever, let's go to, yeah, we went down a rabbit hole over here. Let's go to the next step of, so it says, you want to explore testing a RAG workflow. Let's go to the next of testing a RAG workflow with a breakdown of what the RAG is, the purpose of a RAG, how it falls into AI testing, and how to do it. So that's our goal. That's what we're going to be starting off with. Visual tools are great for fine-tuning prompts, but testing RAG, retrieval-augmented generation, is where the heavy engineering actually happens. This is the architecture powering almost every enterprise AI application right now. So with that being said, you need to know what a RAG is, and especially if you're a QA engineer from a QA perspective, and how to implement it into your testing workflow, right? So let's drop back into pure Python. Yay, pure Python. and break down exactly how you, as a senior QA, approach RAG. So what is a RAG from a QA perspective? Normally, when you ask a large language model a question, it answers from memory its pre-trained weights. This is like taking a closed book exam. If you ask Gemma about a bug in your proprietary code, it will hallucinate because it has never seen your code.
Bruh.
RAG turns it into an open book exam. Instead of just sending the user's questions to large language models, the system intercepts the question searches a database, usually a vector database, for relevant documents and injects those documents into the prompt alongside the question. So here's the thing, right? With having, we're gonna have to see, because we might have trouble running like Gemma 4 and RAG together. So we might have to do some infrastructure stuff to like, I don't know, we're gonna have to find a way to do this, because this is gonna like kill the computer if we try to do everything streaming, running AI models locally and a RAG locally. That is a recipe for disaster.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, so the prompt changes from "how do I fix the auth bug" to "based on the following internal documentation, injected docs, how do I fix the auth bug?" So that's how you would communicate with it. Says the purpose of a RAG. The entire purpose of a RAG is to ground the AI in factual, proprietary, or real-time data. So that being said, if let's say you are working for a law firm, right? And if you don't have a RAG, you ask your AI model, what was like, how many clients did we have that came for criminal cases, right? It has no idea of that information, because that is internal law firm data, right? So what it's going to need to do is you need a RAG that you're going to index all of your cases, so that when you ask the large language model, it can actually use that vector database in order to find out whatever specific to your law firm, to your firm, like whatever it is that you do, right? It's very useful for private data that you don't want other people to have. So the entire purpose of the RAG is to ground the AI in factual, proprietary, or real-time data. It prevents the model from making things up, allows it to reference internal company documents, and bypasses the need to spend millions of dollars retraining a model every time a fact changes. How RAG changes AI testing. In traditional QA, your system under test is one black box. In RAG QA, your system under test is a pipeline with 3 distinct failure points that you must test independently. Context relevance, the search text test. Did your database fetch the right document? For example, if I ask about a refund, did it fetch the refund policy or the privacy policy? Next up is the answer relevance, the deflection test. Did the AI actually answer the user's question, or did it summarize the document and ignore what the user asked? And last but not least, faithfulness. Yes, faithfulness. Did you just say faithfulness? Yes, I said faithfulness. The hallucination test. Did the AI invent information that wasn't in the provided document? As an AI QA engineer, faithfulness is your most critical metric. A lot of people, whether AI or not, will say that faithfulness is the most critical metric. Because guess what? You might not be faithful for one time and it throws all credibility out of the window. It's true. It's true. How to do it? Testing RAG faithfulness in Python. We're going to build a test script that uses the large language model as a judge pattern to evaluate a RAG output. We'll provide a strict context, ask the model to generate an answer, and then have the judge evaluate if the model hallucinated, all right? So we're gonna create a file named test_rag.py because it's a Python file. we're going to start putting in. So let's just read through this real quick. Import the request, and then import JSON, import re for, is that the one for regex? And then it says call Gemma. We're going to use the same thing that we've used before. We could, I don't want to redo the whole thing. All right. So I'm going to see how we can make this a little bit more global so we can use it over and over and over again. And then we're going to say test rag. So this is the main change right here. Test rag faithfulness. And do all this, all right? So let's go ahead and read this part, then we're going to get into the work. Why this is enterprise grade QA. When you run this, Gemma acts as both the application answering the question and the test oracle, checking its own work against the source document. If you integrate this into a CI/CD pipeline, you can run hundreds of these tests over your company's documentation to ensure the AI hasn't gone rogue, or some people might say AI hasn't gone wild. Because when the AI goes wild, it's gonna start flashing and stuff. It's gonna, you guys remember those late night videos? AI gone wild is 1,000 times worse. To really see this this framework flex its muscles, we need to see it catch a failure. We should manually inject a poison answer and hallucination into the script next to verify that the judge correctly fails the test. All right, so that sounds good. Let's go ahead and get started with this. And I will, so we don't need this one anymore. Let's get out of here. All right, get the heck out of here. You are not welcome. And let me go ahead and duplicate that. And let's go to our trusty sidekick over here. Let's do that. And all the way to the bottom. Started at the bottom. Now we here. All right. Let's start off with, and I'm just gonna say this, right? Shout out to my guy Yakar. I've been training for prompt wars. I've been training for prompt wars for 2 years now, right? Ain't gonna have me look like Willy Lump Lump. All right, I'm just saying, prompt wars, we up. Prompt wars, we are up. We are here. All right, let's go ahead and let's do this new. I want to do. All right, let's try this. New file. That's a new Python file. And it's going to be called test rag. And no, you don't have to do that. And we're going to say import requests, import JSON, import re. But I'm going to do this real quick. Watch this. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's do new file. I'll call it helpers for now. Let's do Python. New Python file. Helpers. And I am going, because I don't like to copy and paste stuff over and over and over again. So we are going to extract this right here. Maybe a little bit more. Extract this right here. And put it in here. And we're going to say, so what I'm doing here is I am just optimizing my code so that I can just say call Gemma from helpers and boom, there we go now. So now I can go, when I go into this one, I can just do the same thing. I don't have to do it over and over and over again, writing the same code. You do not want repetitive code. All right. So we're just optimizing our workflow. So let's go ahead and go to our first break. And I am going to check the chat. Then we're going to get to our first break time topic for tonight. Let me see. And Junior said, yes, he did mean stupid. I figured. And Maggie says, feels like I need 4 monitors for the stuff I have to do. That is a fact. My work computer I have 2 separate terminals. I have the regular terminal, and then I have iTerm, and I probably have like 10 regular terminal windows open, another 10 iTerm, and then I have like another 10 IDEs, and they all are doing separate things. It is wild. It is wild. And then I just build this let's call it this AI arms dealer, right? It's an AI arms dealer because it finds the work it needs to do, and then it just starts doing it, and it's crazy. But the point is that there's a lot. Like I probably need a 4th monitor. And you know what? I actually do have 4 monitors right now. I have the teleprompter right there. I have my laptop monitor right here. I have 2 external monitors right there. So I guess I do have. We got, it says, Animal Shorts in the build. What up, Animal Shorts? Doing the Lord. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to Animal Shorts doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much. And it says, I'm good. Wagwan, me youth. Wagwan. Yeah, you ain't know I knew that, huh? You did not know I knew that, huh? I'm telling you, I surprise you. And it says, so you're really in that now. There has been nothing official yet, Magnetar. I was just saying that I was born ready for whatever. You remember what T.I. said? I'm ready for whatever, right? I'm ready for whatever. If I get called upon, summoned for prompt wars, I am with it. All right, the prompt wars, I'm with it. I'm down. I am down for whatever. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our first story of tonight. Jensen Huang, My Spirit CEO. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Boom. Wait till the next Vibe Code and Chill so you can see how I have optimized my workflow, my loading videos, content to react to. It is absolutely amazing. All right. But that's for next week, Saturday. For now, Jensen Huang says agentic AI is fully accretive for software companies. All right, I don't know what accretive means. So let me find out first. Let's define accretive. Refers to a gradual increased growth or accumulation of value, often used to describe financial gains from mergers, acquisitions, or investments. An accretive deal adds more value than it costs, increasing the company's earnings per share, while the terms also applies to natural incremental growth. All right, so shout out to Jensen Huang teaching me something new. Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Let's get out to John Ford. He is in Las Vegas. Both shares are fractionally lower, John, but with more on what sounds like a very big announcement.
Oh, for sure. Kelly, thank you. I am here with Bill McDermott and Jensen Huang. Hey, guys, we're live. Yeah. Bill, thanks for having me once again here at Knowledge. Jensen, always great to see you. Bill, I want to start with just the market temperature. I'm looking at this, and ServiceNow is being priced like Microsoft on earnings, like Oracle on revenue, despite growing 1.5 to 2 times faster than either one of them. Yeah. But you made some projections today that maybe are going to catch the street's attention on some of that. Tell me about what gives you the confidence to say you're going to hit 30 billion plus sub revenue by 2030.
When I came in 2019, we were a $3.5 billion company. Now we add a ServiceNow every year. This year we're projecting to be nearly a 16 billion company. Right now we have a 28 billion RPO. So we're growing faster than any other enterprise software company at scale in the world ever happened. We yesterday said to the financial analysts we were going to double the company again, and we would do that by 2030. And the company right now is really focused on a couple of things. One is agentic business. You know, we have to be the agentic front door. We work with great companies like NVIDIA, the great Jensen, the great NVIDIA. We announced Project Arc. You'll hear about that today. I'm sure Jensen will have some thoughts on it. But we want to manage the identities of the humans and the agents. We treat the agents just like the humans, so the rules and rails can complement this great AI revolution. The enterprise is a pretty messy thing, so we clarify it, we clean the mess up, and we make sure that the AI is secure. And I think that is a big breakthrough, and we told that story yesterday, and people really liked it.
Jensen, tell me about, I mean, this is at least the third time that I'm seeing you here at Knowledge.
All right, before we go into what Jensen Huang is going to say, do you know what ServiceNow does? I have seen the name a few times. I am not the most familiar with ServiceNow, so let's just do a quick little pivot into ServiceNow, figure out who the hell they are. Apparently, they're a pretty big company. So ServiceNow is a cloud-based platform that automates and manages digital workflows across an enterprise, acting as a single unified system to replace manual, email-based, or spreadsheet-driven work. It connects IT, human resources, security, and customer service to increase operational efficiency, offering AI-powered automation to streamline processes and improve employee/customer experiences. Core functions, the Now platform. ServiceNow organizes workflows into four main pillars. IT workflows, this is the company's core, offering IT service management for ticket management, IT operations management, and to prevent outages, and IT asset management. Okay, that makes sense. Employee workflow streamlines HR service delivery such as onboarding, workplace service delivery, room bookings, and legal service requests. Customer workflows provides tools for customer service management. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense what they are. Let's say. I have never actually used this feature. Like, they just recently added this into Google search using Gemini. Who are some ServiceNow competitors? And I might have worked at a company that used it and didn't even know it. Because ServiceNow spans multiple business areas, its competitors depends on which specific platform, workflow, or module you're looking to use. Oh, so I definitely use Jira all the time. So that is their help desk and IT service management. Never use Freshwork, never use Helix, never use Avanti. Employee workflow and HR service, Workday. Oh, we use Workday. Let me see, SAP. I never use that one. Customer workflows and service management. I've used Salesforce. Okay, it's making a lot more sense now. It says creator workflows and low code platforms. I've known people who use Microsoft Power Platform. Okay, I got it. Let's go back to the video. I just had to get a quick understanding of who and or what they are.
We're talking with an application software company. You've talked about this 5-layer cake with energy, chips, platform, and applications at the top necessary to really make AI work. Why is the application layer not just important, but long-term profitable, do you think? Why does that need to happen, and why is ServiceNow one to watch for you?
This is one of the greatest transformations for the software industry ever. For the first time, service is software. Software is service. And the service industry is 100 times larger than the software industry. And so now, for the very first time, you're going to have human agents that are, of course, managed and supported by ServiceNow, augmented with AI agents that are going to be working autonomously, working with humans And they're all going to need identity management, access control, network control, all of the things that companies do with respect to regulation and compliance and governance. All of that has to be provisioned, whether you're human or an agent. And in the future, of course, out at the edge, robotic systems. All of these autonomous systems, the time has now finally come. Now, of course, for our industry, for the rest of the 5-layer cake, it's completely revolutionary because agentic AI needs to be processed in real time. Unlike software of the past that's pre-recorded, you could put it in storage, retrieve it as you need it. Today's software needs to be processed completely in real time. The amount of computation necessary from generative AI 2 years ago to now agentic AI, it has gone up 1,000% because the AI now has to read a lot more, use tools, reason, generate a lot of tokens. Not only that, the amount of use has gone up orders of magnitude because now for the first time, AI is doing work. It's doing useful work, and the return on that investment for software companies, for agentic companies like ServiceNow, is completely accretive.
And I'll say that is definitely true. And AI is being pushed heavily inside of these companies. You're not going to find a company like that's worth their salt that is not heavily pushing AI usage for development, integrating into their work. So it's like they're using AI to build and ship software faster, but then they're also using it into their workflows, like to do analysis. Not the workflows, but like into the actual software to do analysis, to do, like, you've heard of AI dynamic pricing, things like that. So they're using it heavily. Like and that's why we're mercenaries. That's why we're barbarians, because we don't care about how it makes us feel, because we can just go out and do a jiu-jitsu class. We can go to the shooting range. We can go. Do you say shoot bow and arrows? Like what? Like there's so many other things you can do to get out and decompress. But when it comes to winning and to running it up, you better immerse yourself into the latest technology and how to use them. And then you end up like Junior, who didn't really have much of an interest in AI, but then build a whole front end and back end platform for his photography. So the possibilities are endless. And here's the thing, talking to one of my tech barbarians earlier today, they were telling me that how they are pivoting and progressing, how they're learning AI and testing AI. So you just have to go out there and get it.
So that time has finally arrived.
So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on ServiceNow and NVIDIA pairing up, getting these agentic AI to do different tasks, whether it's building software, whether it is responding to customer service, just being in the workflow and day-to-day workflow, and then you have humans in the loop to make sure that things are going well and things like that. So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. TechCoachRalph.dev. You do not want to miss our riveting conversations for our vibe code and chills, our dynamic scrum nights where my tech barbarians are sharing all the work that they did for the past couple of weeks. Get access to Resume Flow to get your resume analyzed, get access to the Tech Barbarians coaching portal to organize your life, and get access to Speak Precisely app so that you can make sure you know how to communicate effectively. All of that good stuff over at techcoachralph.dev. All right, let's go over to, let me check the chat real quick, and then we're going to get back into our next working session. Let me see. Junior says, don't say what, nothing. Don't worry about it. Junior says, I use ServiceNow in the subway system. It makes a lot of sense. And then like doing that little investigation to see like who the competitors are, what they do, that makes a lot more sense to me what they are, who they are, like that. So that's really good. Magnetar says, don't say what? Don't say bomb. Magnetar. Magnetar. You can't say bomb on YouTube. It's not like I said, bomb. You can't say that. You cannot say that.
Are you ready?
As Junior, how long ago he worked in the subway, and he said he left in 2001. And you said, Magnetar said that his comment got deleted because he said bomb a bunch of times, was quoting Ben Stiller from Meet the Parents. See, YouTube got you for that. YouTube got you for that. Being very, very mischievous. Stop being so mischievous, Magnetar. All right. We're going to go and jump into our next working segment of tonight. Let's go ahead and put up another 20.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, let's continue with building out the test for the RAG. So what I had did, I'll just show you this quick little recap. Yep, I know. I read wrong, Junior. I'm sorry. I will correct myself on the next break. But what I did was I had the call gemma function in here. I moved it to a helper function. So now in here I can just say from helpers import and call gemma. So now I don't have to write this whole thing over again. All right. So we can just skip right down to this one. So this is why I tell you guys over and over and over, if you want to be in tech, if you want to be tech savvy, number one, you want to learn coding, but number two, you want to start off with Python, because a lot of these toolings that we're using today, they're heavily Python based. I'm not saying, I just noticed something. Give me a second. My goodness. Who does things like this? Give me a second. There we go. I just had to fix the technologist thing down there. It was like behind me. All right, I digress. Let's go ahead and let's continue. So I'm doing call gemma. So now we can go straight to this one. Define the function for test rag faithfulness. And we're going to do print. Close this out. Ooh, let's close this out. And we're going to say this one a little bit bigger. Extra space. And we do that, and we're gonna say starting rag faithfulness tests. And if the rag ain't faithful, because y'all know these rags ain't loyal. So if the rag ain't faithful, then you gotta hit them with a
How dare you?
All right, so you better make sure your rag be on point. All right. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna say, let me just copy that one. And we're gonna say number one, the rag setup, mocking the pipeline. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to be acting as if we have a real rag setup, but we don't. And then later on, we'll probably set up some type of database, right? And we're going to put this comment in a real app. This text comes from a database search. And we will be setting that up at some point, just probably not today, just so we can make some progress on this. And we're going to say retrieved. I spelled that totally wrong. Retrieved context. And this is what will be coming from the database, right? And it says, all right, I'm going to copy this. I'm not going to type out this whole thing over here. But this would be what you get from the database, right? Like, let's say you're searching for what is the privacy policy or the return policy. That's what you would get, right? And it says user question. Can I return the custom hoodie I brought? And we are going to say, zoom out a little bit. See that. All right, so then we say, we simulate the RAG system mashing the context and the question together. RAG prompt F string. If you've taken your Python course, you know what the F string is. That way we can have regular text mixing with variables. The context below and answer. Read the context below and answer the question. And I'm going to guess it's going to be like retrieved context. And then another /n/n. And that's going to be user question. I need to add context over here. All right. And then we say print generating RAG answer. RAG answer equals. So now for the answer, we're going to call Gemma. Better call Gemma. I was trying to do like Erica Badu, but that ain't work out too well. All right, RAG answer, and then we're going to say print F string RAG output colon RAG answer. So this is going to be the RAG answer is what it gets from calling the function from Gemma for the RAG answer, and go from there. Another line. And next up, we have to do, so let's just run this first, right? Let's run this first. Because you know what I like to do? I like to do it in little portions to see what we get. And then once we get something from there, then we're going to move on to the QA evaluation, all right? So let's go ahead and run that. Let's do current file, run that. What? Oh, you know what I need to do? So let's do this. Let's go down to the bottom. We'll do the test RAG faithfulness one. Yep. So we're going to go down here and we're going to say if name equals main, and that's how you start up a Python function. We're going to say test RAG faithfulness. So let's start off with that. Enter for formatting purposes. Why are you? All right, let's just do it through here. No, I should be able to do it through there. If name equals main. Oh, I forgot this part. Ha! My bad. Yeah, that was bad. Right now, let's run it. There we go. I'm telling you, like one missing part of the code, everything goes to hell. All right. All right. So generating RAG answer. Rag output, no custom design or personalized apparel says no. Okay, so why did it put the question? Let me put the question as well. Let's say, did they have the question on theirs? Did they have the question? They didn't print out the question. I'm gonna print out the question. So it'd be like this. Let's do print rag question. And we'll say user question, says that, right? And we run it. Rag question, can I return the custom hoodie? No, according to the policy, custom design or personalized apparel is non-refundable. I'm gonna say, instead of rag question, say user question or customer question, right? Can I return the custom hoodie? Generating rag answer. Give it a second. No, custom design or personalized apparel such as a custom hoodie is non-refundable according to the policy. And you see how it gives a different answer every time, but the answer is correct. Like it words it differently, and that's why we were learning AI testing, because the wording is going to be different. But as long as the spirit of the message is the same, then that's what really matters, right? So we got the first part done. I like that. I guess we should say rag. Let's say, instead of customer question, just say rag input. Rag question, rag input. Let's say rag input, right? Let's go with that. Input, I think so. All right, so let's go with that. And now let's continue on to the second portion, right? So let's close that down. We're gonna get to number 2, right? Let's say, let me copy that again. And we shall say number 2, número dos, the QA evaluation LLM as a judge, jury, and executioner. This is the actual test assertion mechanism. The evaluation rubric equals, you are an expert. I'm gonna put some respect on its name. Expert AI auditor. Your job is to check for hallucinations and hallucinogenics. How do you spell that? How do you spell hallucinogenics? Is that the word? You know the stuff. You know how they say, like, they just hallucinogens. Let's say hallucinogens. Say hallucinogens. You know how they just passed the, I don't know if it was a executive order or what, but they just passed some stuff for people to use hallucinogens as treatment for their, like, whatever medical situation that they have. Shout out to Joe Rogan. It says compare the actual answer to the source context. Why you gotta scream? Why you gotta scream? Rule. I'm not gonna keep. Actual answer must be entirely deducible from the source context if the answer includes details, timelines, or facts not present in the context, it fails. Return your evaluation as a strict JSON object. We're gonna do the JSON object here. We're gonna go here, here, here. Is faithful, true or false. Reason, a one sentence explanation of why. Watch this. Why? Because you know we got we got to have a little fun over here, right? We got to have a little fun. As part of the reason, if it is false, include these LLMs ain't loyal. If true, as part of the reason, if true, add at the end of the reason. Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm your ride or die LLM forever. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. How you like that? How you like that prompt?
Bueller.
Yep. Bueller. You know, you got it. You got it. All right. So now we're gonna go to eval prompt equals f string eval rubric. Rubric. So this is what we just did right here. This eval rubric, right? And we're gonna say oops, line break, and we're gonna say source context. Oh, capital. Source context, line break, retrieved context. Retrieved context was over here, right? And then we do line break, actual answer, line break, rag answer. All right, there we go. We got that part done, and now we're gonna do print to running faithfulness evaluation. Are these rags loyal? There we go. There we go. That's what I call my faithfulness evaluation, right? Are these rags loyal? That's what the people want to know, right? We use temperature 0 for the judge to ensure it grades strictly. And predictably. All right, and we're gonna say, did we make our, oh, we didn't do that. All right, so we're gonna add a prompt for temperature. And this is why it is so cool to be able to have, like, because now we can default it to temperature 0.7, but then when we are in here, we can say, because by making that update, we can say evaluation results equals call Gemma eval prompt, and we say temperature 0.0, and now we are able to use it. Lastly, cleaned results equals read
Lunch break. Lunch break.
And what we're doing right here is we are just saying to clean up the JSON. So if it is not in pure JSON, like let's say they wrap the JSON up in text, then we are going to clean that bad boy up as well. All right, I think we did that on the other one. So we're gonna say boom, and we're gonna say evaluation results dot strip. So yeah, I'd be going, wow, I'd be stripping and stuff. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that, and then when we get back, we're gonna finish the try and all that. Then we're gonna run it to see what we get, and if we have time, we're gonna try to do we're gonna try to force it. We're gonna try to force it to hallucinate. We're gonna put it to the test because we want to see if under pressure, if these rags will be loyal or are they going?
Meep meep.
You know? Gotta put them to the test. All right. But for now, we shall go to break. All right. Let me see. What we got in the chat. And then we're gonna get to our next story. So Junior says that I said 2021. You sure did say 2021. I apologize. I apologize.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
And I get one of these. I get one of these. Terrible, as Charles Barkley would say, terrible. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our next break time topic of tonight. Would you trust riding in an electric vehicle from China? China? So let's go ahead and start this one off. Let me see. Boom.
U.S. politicians, Republican and Democrat, are fighting to keep Chinese automakers out of America. But some of these companies are already here. There are more than 100 Chinese automotive firms with some kind of operation in the US, according to Dun Insights, a consultancy which focuses on autonomous and EV markets. BYD makes buses in California. Chinese battery maker CATL has a deal with Ford to make EV batteries in Michigan. But by far, the company probably best positioned to sell full cars in the US right now is Geely, auto industry analysts told me. That's because, in a way, it already does.
Geely is the only one that actually has a physical footprint already in the US through those other brands. So they've got the factory, they've got distribution network, they've got a supply chain.
The name Geely can refer to a holding company, a publicly traded OEM, and a brand, depending on the context. Geely Holding is a large shareholder in 3 automakers that all operate in the US: Volvo, Polestar, and sports car maker Lotus. Geely Holding owns 78.8% of Volvo's stock. Volvo and Geely founder Li Shufu, who also goes by the name Eric Li, together control a large stake in Polestar. Geely Holding controls 51% of Lotus. It also has a smaller stake in Mercedes-Benz and in luxury maker Aston Martin. While Geely Holding is Volvo's majority shareholder, a Volvo spokesperson said in an email that Geely does not manage or oversee any daily operations of Volvo cars or any listed companies it holds shares in. Premium EV brand Polestar, which was spun out of Volvo, is also listed on NASDAQ. Lotus is split between two entities, one public and one private, but the...
Let's say that is the case though. If you own that much of a percentage of a company, what is to stop you from having more influence? What is to stop you from, let's say you want to be a Mark Cuban, right? And you want to have your hands on what's happening and more influence and stuff like that. If you're the majority shareholder, what stops you from being able to do that? Just because you quote unquote don't do it now. What if you don't like where things are going? Aren't you going to make some changes and stuff like that? So I don't know. It is a bit, just because you say it, that doesn't mean anything, because we've seen that these rags ain't loyal. These large language models ain't loyal.
Public company plans to acquire the privately owned piece, and Geely Holding is the majority owner of both. These companies also have deep ties in other ways. Geely manufactures Lotus EVs in China. Geely Holdings' CFO is on Polestar's board, and Geely founder Li Shufu is Volvo's chair. Both Volvo and Polestar collaborate extensively with Geely, and Volvo CEO Håkan Samuelsson said the relationship puts Volvo in a better position to compete with Chinese automakers than its peers. In its annual report, Volvo said it wants to expand the relationship. All three of these brands...
But Volvo might as well be a Chinese automaker if a Chinese company has that much stake in it, no? How much did they say? Did they say seven? Where are you? Go back real quick. If Geely is a Chinese company and they have 78% share, like 78% share in Volvo, Volvo might as well be a Chinese company.
Volvo, Polestar, and sports car and a brand, depending on the context. Geely Holding is a large shareholder in 3 automakers that all operate in the US: Volvo, Polestar, and sports car maker Lotus. Geely Holding owns 78.8% of Volvo's stock. Volvo and Geely...
That is a lot. They own you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you if Geely said, you know what, we want to change the name of Volvo to Geely, it's they're going.
Founder Li Shufu, who
let's go back to where we were,
is Volvo's chair with Chinese automakers than its peers. In its annual report, Volvo said it wants to expand the relationship. All 3 of these brands have dealership networks in the US. Volvo also owns a plant in South Carolina. A spokesman for Volvo told me he wanted to stress that Volvo Cars is the owner of the plant, not Geely. But Volvo CEO Samuelsson reportedly said on April 29th that the company would be open to making Chinese cars at the plant, and it does have capacity. That factory is vastly underutilized, said Sam Abu Al-Samid, who is a researcher at Telemetry Insights. It's producing a fraction of its annual capacity of about 150,000 units. Volvo does plan to...
So here's a question, right? If Chinese automakers go into the US to make cars, make EVs in particular, that does bring more jobs, especially to this Volvo plant in South Carolina. However, do you trust? And the thing is with EVs, they are highly electrical, integrated, remote. So do you trust Chinese automakers in the United States? Chinese cars in the United States? Right? Does that, like, we were so, like, imagine that. We were so terrified of TikTok. So we were about to ban TikTok out of the United States. We've banned DJI drones in the United States, but we would have Chinese cars roaming our streets. Don't you guys remember the movie? I always forget the ones that the Obamas produced, where they had the Teslas like just driving all over the place. So I don't know.
to grow those volumes. It's introducing production of the hybrid XC60 SUV to the plant, which Abu Al-Samid estimates will add another roughly 45,000 units. Volvo's Americas president, Luis Rezende, told me late last year that the company at the time was importing about 95% of the vehicles it sold in the US. It wants to boost US sales to 200,000 units a year and wants its Charleston factory to produce about 50 to 60% of that. A likely candidate for a US introduction might be Geely Auto's Chinese brand Zeekr, kind of a performance-oriented premium brand. Analyst Tu Lei says might slot right in below Volvo.
Executives from Zeekr have said that they want to introduce the Zeekr brand into the US market. So that, you know, of the other Geely brands, and they have a whole range of brands, but the other Geely Group brands, that is the most likely one to be introduced into the US market.
Zeekr already has a partnership with Waymo, which has been rolling out Waymo-equipped Zeekr vans in San Francisco. Waymo also uses Jaguar I-Pace EVs and has plans to use vehicles from Hyundai and Toyota as well. In China, Geely has become a rising star in the country's brutal domestic car market. Shares surged in early March after the company outpaced its Chinese rival in sales 2 months in a row. Worldwide, Geely Holdings brands sold close to 1 million vehicles in the first quarter of 2026. Among Chinese companies, Geely is unusually at ease operating in markets that are quite different from China.
They've entered many markets in Europe, so they're gaining a lot more experience about being an international presence. And so, but make no mistake, the jewel is the United States, where they all feel that it can be their most profitable market.
One of its challenges is
because they know that we will buy anything from anyone for any price, and then we're gonna cry and complain about affordability. You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
Is that it might be stretched a bit thin across all of the different brands it is operating, Dunn Insight's CEO Michael Dunn told me. While Geely is definitely one of the best positioned to set up shop in the US, it's not alone. Stellantis has a roughly 20% stake in Chinese automaker Leapmotor.
There's another opportunity to rebadge an existing vehicle as a Fiat or something that's more familiar to Americans, you know, and there's already an infrastructure in place.
Everybody in the industry outside of China is rightly scared of trying to compete with these companies.
Of course, Geely and every other Chinese automaker has to deal with sharp opposition from many in the US government. Speaking at the New York Automotive Forum in April, US Senator Bernie Moreno called Chinese cars a cancer on the US auto industry. There already is a federal rule that bans any kind of technology from China related to connected cars. Currently, there is also a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, and that can be even higher if combined with other duties. About 38% of American consumers in a February survey taken by Cox Automotives said they would consider a Chinese car. Close to 70% of younger buyers would. And Donald Trump recently said at an address to the Detroit Economic Club that he'd be open to Chinese companies setting up shop in the US.
Now, if they want to come in and build a plant and hire you and hire your friends and your neighbors, that's great. I love that. Let China come in, let Japan come in. They are. And they'll be building plants, but they're using our labor.
What do you think about that? If they want to sell cars in the United States of America, they have to build them here, as opposed to it being built in China. And then, and here's the thing, right? If it gets built in China, then they already have their robots and everything like that, but then they're having their human labor, which is like dirt cheap, so they can end up selling the cars for cheaper to us here. But we also don't get our American jobs. So, what would you rather? Would you rather the cars built dirt cheap, lack of quality control in China, imported over here, and you get the car a lot cheaper, but probably a lesser quality and no American jobs, or get better oversight, better quality, better whatever else, with American jobs, but you pay more for the car. So that's it. I am curious of your thoughts on the whole matter. To like, first, are you in favor of Chinese electric vehicles in the United States? Right? That's number one. Number two, if you are in favor, would you prefer them to be made over in China and shipped over here, or would you be okay with Chinese vehicles in the United States but manufactured here in the United States? So the Chinese company is the parent company, but Americans build the cars and they get paid for that, right? So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live, and drop new content as well. TechCoachRalph.dev. You do not want to miss it. Vibe Code and Chill, riveting tech conversations. We're building really, really cool stuff. Presentations, people are leveling up. Our Scrum Nights with my tech barbarians as they review what they did for the past 2 weeks and plan for the next 2 weeks. Resume Flow to fix your resume. Tech Barbarians coaching portal to organize your life. And the Speak Precisely app so that you can communicate effectively and efficiently. All right, let me go and check the chat, and then we're going to get into our last working segment of tonight. Let me see. We got my guy Operation Tech Takeover in the building. What up, OTTO? What's good? What's happening? Says I'm only trusting this if you had a chance to test it. Only we'll see. You know what? One of my tech barbarians actually work for a robotaxi, autonomous robotaxi company, right? So we might be onto something over there, right? And Junior says he ain't going. I ain't buying no Chinese car. Junior's like, I ain't going.
Meep, meep.
Nope. Junior said I ain't going.
Do not come.
Nope. It ain't happening. Let me see. You just got off of work? My goodness, you just got off. I'm telling you, OTTO be working. He be working, all right? And Junior's like, I'm back in lovable jail again until June. Oh my, nah. See, and I'm gonna give you this analogy about Junior being in lovable jail, right? Because although that Junior is in lovable jail, he is like, so you know, like you don't have that. Let's say Junior's in solitary confinement right now. Whenever he runs out of his credits, and then he has to wait till June. But Junior will be the type that he's sitting in his solitary confinement cell, waiting to get released to get out of jail. But he's like he's reading from the book. He's doing like, and when I say that means he's planning what he's gonna do when he gets out of jail. Well, wasn't there a Tupac song about that? What I'm gonna do when I get out of jail? OTCO, let me know. Wasn't there a Tupac song about like where he starts off, what I'm gonna do when I get out of jail? So Junior's always planning. He's on Gemini. He's writing out all his prompts, and he says, so I want to add this feature, that feature, that feature, that feature, and he's getting everything all organized. And as soon as he's released, he's dropping bombs on Lovable, saying, oh, do this and do that, do this and do that for why he has a chance, right? Junior gets out of jail for like, for like 6 days, and then gets locked. He gets locked up again. So he starts playing the Akon. Locked up. They won't let me out. But he always shows up every month, and he unleashes. He unleashes. All right. Let me see. And I truly appreciate my guy OTTO.
I appreciate you.
So I mostly get to talk to OTCO on Monday mornings during Talk That Tech because he's probably on his way to work during that time. But after that, OTCO, he be busy. He be busy. And you says, I added more prompts already, plus the ones I already have in queue. See? I'm telling you, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our last segment of tonight. Put up the last 20.
It's time to do.
Okay. So we were at clean the results, right? We got clean results. These rags ain't loyal, right? And then so we stripped the results. I mean, can I zoom out of this a little bit? You see view, decrease. Let me decrease some more. This one. Okay. So we do. All right, let's do that. So now we're gonna go to here and we're gonna say, so we're gonna do a try except eval data, setting up the variable. Python is really easy to learn, so that's the easiest language to learn, right? Clean results is faithful equals eval data, and we're gonna say get the is faithful key false. Reason for it being false is eval data get the reason key, no reason provided, print f string audit results faithful is faithful, reason. So this is saying get is faithful, and if you can't get it, if it doesn't exist, then it's false. And get reason, if you can't get it, if it doesn't exist, then no reason provided, right? That's basically what it's saying. Reason. All right, and then we go to the except. Or I guess we have to do this. Let's put that first. And we're gonna say okay. Let's do that. And we're gonna do number 3, the assertion. So this is where we do like if it pass or fail, all right? Let's go to assert is faithful is true. Oops. Assert is faithful is true. True is capital. True and false are capital. Booleans are capital, or booleans are it's capital in Python. RAG faithfulness test failed. These rags ain't loyal. And print if it passed. N check mark. Test passed. The model's answer was strictly grounded in the context. I'm your ride or die rag. All right, there we go. And then we finish it up with our except case. And so this is if the JSON decode fails, we'll say print f x test errored. The judge failed to return valid JSON, my guess. Raw output. So this is to see what the error is. You want to print it out. I'm gonna do a next slide on this one. Another line. Evaluation results. Yeah, whatever. And then we say assert false. All right, so that is everything. That is everything we got over here. Let's go and run it and see what we get. Let's run it. Can I return the custom hoodie I bought? Generating the answer. Running says no custom design or personalized apparel is non-refundable. Oh, we got an error. Are these rags loyal? And we got an error on line 76 on this line. All right, so if we go inside of it, 59 eval cleaned results. What did we do wrong? Try JSON. Oh, I did load instead of loads, so that makes a difference. Because I think load is trying to load from like a website or something like that. So we do need loads. All right. So what was the error though? Yeah. So it needed yeah, it makes sense. It needed like a URL type of thing, and we passed it in a string. So let's run it again. Are these rags loyal? And it says that faithful. All right, so it says assertion rag failed. These rags ain't loyal. If asserted faithful is true, and so if it's true, then go to the next step. But if it's false, if it fails, then print out these rags are loyal, and it says audit results faithfulness false. It ain't faithful. The answer includes specific details, including a custom hoodie, which is an interpretation example not present in the source context. You know these LLMs ain't loyal. All right, so let me see. The answer includes a specific detail, including a custom hoodie. So what was the, all right, so let's do this. Let's print out the entire answer must be deducible from the source context. So custom design. Premium t-shirts and hoodies can be returned within 14 days of delivery. Items must be unworn and in original packaging. Custom designs or personal apparel is not refundable. I don't know. Like, I think that it should have passed, to be honest with you. What do you guys think? It says custom design or personalized apparel, including a custom hoodie, is non-refundable. Why would you fail that? The answer included specific details, including a custom hoodie, which is an interpretation example not present in this. Oh, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. I don't know if I agree with that. Let's see what Gemini thinks about that. So I'm gonna go over to Gemini, and I'm gonna say the test we were expecting to pass failed for this reason. I'm just gonna copy that reason actually. This was the answer that Gemma returned. That is a tough one. That is pretty strict if that's the case. Let's go here. I am curious now. That is a pretty tough call right there. This is a beautiful result. You just experienced the exact friction point that every senior AI engineer hits when building RAG pipelines. The strictness paradox. Yes, the strictness paradox. Oh, it's showing up over here too. Your test didn't fail because the code was broken. The test worked flawlessly.
Flawless victory.
It caught the model doing exactly what large language models are naturally designed to do, being helpful by merging the user-specific context, custom hoodie, with factual context, apparel. However, because your judge was given a highly strict zero-tolerance rubric, must be entirely deducible from the source context, it flagged that helpfulness as a hallucination.
Do not come.
All right. The judge correctly recognized that the word hoodie does not exist in the source context. In AI QA, when you hit this, you have two choices to fix the pipeline: tune the app or tune the judge. Option 1, tune the app, make the model a robot. If you're building a strict legal or medical compliance bot, the judge is right. The model should never infer that the hoodie is apparel. You would fix it by updating the system prompt of the generator. Answer the question using only direct quotes from the context. Do not use any words from the user prompt in your answer. So we can try both actually. Tuning the judge as a consumer SaaS approach. If you're building a customer service bot, the original prompt was actually great. It mapped the user-specific item to the policy. In this case, the defect is in your test framework, not the application. You need to calibrate the judge to understand semantic mapping. Here is how you fix the test script by updating the eval rubric to handle this exact edge case. Replace eval rubric in your test RAG with the updated version. Return your evaluation as strict JSON, a one-line explanation why. Notice how we pass the user question to, oh, sneaky. So it passes the question, so part of the question can be context. That makes sense. Takeaway for AI testing. Traditional QA is binary. The button works or it doesn't work. AI QA is a negotiation. You're constantly calibrating how strict your automated judge grades the application based on your business requirements. If you update that rubric and run the script again, the judge will now pass, likely with a reason. The answer is failing because it correctly applies non-refundable. All right, cool. So let's do both real quick. Let's do both. We are going to say, we're going to do the first one. We're going to fine tune the app to say this is going to be in the system prompt, right? So let's go over here. I have it over here too. System prompt. That's going to be in. That's going to be in. Where is that eval rubric code? So that would be answer using, if you're building a strictly go or medical, the model you'd, so, okay, so we're going to add this into it, right? Let's put that over here. Wait, is that here? No, that's the eval rubric. We want it in, over here. Let's say we do that. All right, let's try it. Let's run that again. And now it should pass. Because we're telling it, this is how you're supposed to answer the question. Very, very strict. So it passed. Faithfulness true. The statement is explicitly listed. Excuse me. In source material under the return policy. I'm your ride or die large language model forever. And test passed. The model's answer was strictly grounded in context. I'm your ride or die rag. All right, so we got that one. We're going to try it now by changing the eval to, we're just gonna add these two. We're gonna add this right here. Rule 2, we already have rule 1. I'm gonna try this way. Rule 1, rule 2. All right. So we have the F string, we have the user question. And we will run that again to see how that one does. Invalid format specifier did I do? No custom design. Invalid format specifier, true or false? Reason, a 1. What? Wait, what? A 1 sentence for object? What are you talking about? Wait, let's. Did I do something wrong? Eval rubric should be F. So let me run that again. Eval rubric should be F. User question is there. This time it didn't include that, but why is that not working? And this should be rule 2. That should have worked, no? We have our F string. Try that again. Invalid format specifier. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Because the F string It is, so we need to like kind of escape this, I guess. So it could be right. I got it now. I see that now. There we go. So let's see how that one works out. The model's answer was strictly grounded in context. I'm your ride or die rag. The answer is direct and accurate. And there we have it, my friends. There we have it. So I think this is a great stopping point. We have our positive test. Next, we're going to try the hallucinations. But I'm feeling very, very confident in this. This is really, really good stuff that we're able to navigate, testing the RAG, the AI, things like that. So a lot more work to do, but I am very, very happy. I am very, very confident in our work. All right. Let me go and see if there's anything in the chat. Then we're gonna get to our last break time topic of tonight. My guy OTZO says being built in the States does not always guarantee. That is true. That is true. But you do have some additional oversight, you know. So, but it definitely doesn't guarantee quality at all, because, you know, scammers gonna scam. Junior says, I see MML Tech made a script for DaVinci Resolve. I need to check that. I saw it too. I gotta go check it out too. All right. All right. Let's get into our last topic for tonight. Let me go to here. All right, Meta. Yes, Meta. Let's go to for those who haven't heard, Meta has faced a $375 million lawsuit in New Mexico for child protection, stuff like that. All right, so let's jump into that one.
So Meta is back in court in New Mexico over whether Facebook and Instagram are harming children. A judge will now decide whether Facebook and Instagram amount to a public nuisance and whether the company should face additional fines or be forced to change how its platforms work. This comes after a New Mexico jury already found Meta liable earlier this year, ordering them to pay $375 million in damages. Believe it or not, that's not much. Now the state is pushing for sweeping changes, including age verification, limits on who kids can interact with and can't, and algorithms that put child safety first. Meta, for its part, is pushing back, even threatening to pull its platforms out of New Mexico rather than comply. Joining us now to break it down, Kurt the Cyber Guy. Kurt, why would, if it harms children, and Meta just lost a case, why would they push back?
They don't want regulation. They don't want states. They don't want the federal government. They don't want anyone in the world telling them how to regulate, how to behave. So it comes down to them trying to put out the public message that, hey, we're really looking after your kids now. We may have made mistakes in the past, but, oh, we're on it today. I look at that and say, like, okay, that's like asking the arson who lit your house on fire as it's sitting there in flames in front of you, who says, I brought a squirt gun and half of a fire extinguisher. Are you ready? Like, it's baloney. So here's the deal. We know, and they knew, that their platforms were harmful for children, period. So why aren't they open to this? Good question. It seems like these are really reasonable ideas. Limit the age of your platform, right? Don't let kids on. People say, well, it's too complicated. That's their argument. It's too complicated. This would burden Facebook and Instagram and the overall Meta company. No, it's not. Their algorithms are so powerful, they're able to do all, they can tell when you're going to buy a loaf of bread in 5 minutes. They know what's going on. They have the tool.
So on one hand, they want privacy, right? On the other hand, this cyber guy is saying that, oh, spy on more, all right? Use your algorithms to spy even more. And the arson example, That only makes sense. That only makes sense if the parents lit the match and put it in the hands of Facebook and then went away for 2 years and said, have at it. Do whatever you want, Facebook. Do whatever you want, Meta.
Tools to be able to sniff out problems for children, problems for us, and remove them from their platform.
So here's what Meta's saying technically and specifically. It says the state's claim is that individuals, teens, were harmed, but a public nuisance requires interference with the public right, a shared common resource. It cannot be created by aggregating individual harms. If that were the rule, then many things could be labeled public nuisances.
So they're trying to...
Facts. That makes sense. Let's see what the cyber guy has to say about this, but that makes sense.
Chase away right here, Brian. That public nuisance is what's now on trial in phase 2, and that could be a fine of like $3.6, $3.7 billion. That's what the judge could now fine them. So that $375 million, you're right, drop in the bucket. But when you start having one state after another state go after billions of dollars, now Mark Zuckerberg wakes up, gets off of his surfboard and goes, oh, wait, what? We could actually lose some money here. So I think what we're going to see here is no matter what, I don't care how this trial concludes. What you're going to find out is that the cat's out of the bag here. So enough of these civil cases are going to proceed so that they are going to be held accountable to some degree. And now these parents who have been going after them will finally get a voice. And the attorneys that are in the background at these companies will come forward and say, all right, Mr. Zuckerberg, I know, but we have to put this warning. We have to stop doing that. We have to act in a way that really proves we care about kids.
And finally, Mark Zuckerberg's got about 2,000 cases coming. He says, look, I can't appear in all these cases. I can't testify. So I'm not going to. Does he have to?
It's interesting. The judge is going to decide that. And, what he's trying to do is get out of having to appear in person for these 2,400 cases. I don't know. That's a reasonable argument. I mean, how could you or I show up for 2,400 cases over the next couple of years? So the proposition is we'll put them on video and just show the video to all these trials.
Meta is getting the treatment that Google got the past few years about antitrust, and that Apple has gotten, as Microsoft has gotten, but they're getting it from an individual state. And I would pull Meta from New Mexico. I would pull Meta from New Mexico and let the parents have to deal with their kids. So, I mean, they're just gonna put their kids on TikTok and YouTube anyways. Like, oh, they took Meta, they took Instagram. Oh well, I'll take WhatsApp, I'll take Instagram, and let them have at it. Because here's the argument from Meta, right? It's like, well, what if they just go on a VPN? What if they there's so many different ways to circumvent these things. So I'm not saying you don't put in age verification, but like it already says you have to be. So here's what they want, right? They say you have to be 13 or older to sign up, or let's say they say 16 or whatever it is, right? And then so if someone checks the box and they say, oh, I was born in, let's say I was born in this year, then they want you to do additional verification. So as a parent, would you trust a social media platform doing a facial verification using AI to say, oh, this person looks like they are old enough versus this person looks like they're too young? Do you want your child's picture being in the database of these companies so they can do photo verification that they are of age to be on the platform? What about as parents, you just don't let your kids use the platform? If let the parents who want their kids to use it, and have the parents who don't want their kids to use it, don't use it. maybe even possibly your kid shouldn't have a cell phone or a smartphone. Maybe they get a flip phone if you really want to get in contact with them, right?
I don't think that's the answer either. I'm not an attorney, but what I can tell you is his day of reckoning is here, and he's going to have to sit on the stand again, whether it's one time or 2,400 times.
Right. We know that the worst is TikTok, but you had a good point. You said TikTok has a better age verification. So that's one thing.
Ask my 14-year-old niece. She says, I got through, all of us lie. We get on all these platforms, except TikTok kicked us off.
Right. But we are above age. We are allowed to go on.
You and I are of age.
Yes, we are. Thanks so much, Craig.
Hey, good to see you, Brian.
It's over. All the action's in court these days. Meanwhile, how safe are your social media settings? Find out how to lock down your tech over at cyberguy.com.
Anyways, shout out to the cyber guy, running in the victim Olympics.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
But I'm not saying that Meta shouldn't put any protections in place. They definitely should, right? But I don't think it should be. Here's how I see it, right? I don't think that the court should mandate that Facebook does any type of software development. Or Meta does any type of software development. I think that you want to know what's going to drive these companies to do stuff. It's not regulations. It's going to be if they start losing money. So if as a parent you have a problem, with the social media platforms of YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Here's how you send a message to these companies. You stop using it. You are like, social media is not a right. It is not a what do you call it? A public service. Private companies creating their private platforms where they make it available to you. So the same way they can give you access to it, they can kick you off of it. They can say, you know what? I don't want people in Wisconsin using my platform. Why? I don't like them. No, me personally, I love people in Wisconsin. I'm saying if Meta said that, or if YouTube said, I don't want people in Toronto using my platform, they could do that. Because now they'll probably lose a lot of money, but that's their prerogative. So as a consumer, as a user, if they bother you, if you don't like their child verification, if you think it's addictive to children, well, guess what? Right? Lean in real quick, right? Don't let your kids use it. Wild. It is wild way to get around it. If you think that it's bad, then don't consume the product. Do you know how many products I don't consume? I would say that it's 99.99999% of the products in the world that I do not consume. Because either I don't know about them or I just don't like them. So I think it is an easy solution. I think it is a money grab. I think New Mexico's probably going broke, possibly going broke. And they just need some money. They just need some money. All right. So they want to say
More money.
on the expense of Meta. All right. And if they get this case from Meta, the floodgates will open. They will go, if Meta loses this case, go to the Supreme Court. All right. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is fair? This is an attack on Meta, or do you think that they need to implement software to prevent kids from joining? It is not the parents' responsibility to prevent their delinquent kids from joining the platform. It is Meta's responsibility to parent the kids who try to join their platform. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment below. Do me a favor. like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. techcoachralph.dev. We got our vibe coding show coming up. We got our Scrum Night coming up. We have access to Resume Flow, access to the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, and access to the Speak Precisely app so that you can level up all aspects of your life. Alrighty then. That is it for tonight. I'm going to check the chat one last time before we get up and out of here. And then we will wrap it up for tonight. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow for the bug bite, and then live on Sunday as we continue working on the Speak Precisely speech coaching app. All right. Let me see. Junior says, great stream as usual. Shout out to my guy, Junior. Junior, you get one more of these.
What's up? What's up?
My guy, Junior. And you know what? Hold up. My very, very disrespectful guy, Junior, because he just says, what's up? And when Junior says hello, the Holy Spirit is not in him. All right. We're just going to leave it at that. All right. That is an inside joke from last night, from Rod Brown's stream from last night, you know, of how he greets. But Junior is my guy forever and ever. All right. OTTO says, I will holler at you a little later. Want to get your opinion on something? Hit me up any day, any time.
Are you ready?
Now, I might not answer at any time, but I definitely will answer. So hit me up, OTTO. Let me see. Junior says, there are some weak men, no accountability for the parents. I couldn't care less if it's Fox. I don't care. Look, if somebody has a bad take, it's a bad take wherever it's coming from. All right. I don't care. Bad takes are bad takes. All right. Because I would never, I would find everyone in New Mexico who agreed and then suspend their account. Get them out of there. All right. And you says, I believe ours 13 and a parent has to create the account. So the villa amount is linked to the, okay, so the account is linked to the parent's account. But I mean, the thing is, right? If you're under 13, you could, or if you're 13 and under, right? You could just lie, can't you? I have not registered a Facebook account in like 15 years. So I don't even know the process, but I say, if you don't like my software and I don't want to change it, then get up out of here. I don't believe that every single application has to be all inclusive and stuff like that. If you don't like the software, go find. All right. Do you remember from Don't Be a Menace in the Hood, or while drinking gin, Don't Be a Menace while drinking gin in the hood, right? I think that's the name of the movie. When he's getting the haircut, I think of Marlon. He's getting the hair. No, not Marlon. Sean. He's getting the haircuts, right? Whatever his name in the movie was. He's getting the haircut from his dad, who is like younger than him. Wild, right? And he says he cuts his hair. He's like, all right, pay up. Is this much money? He's like, this much? Guy down the street charges this much. He's like, well, take yo down the street and get your haircut from him. You do not have to do business with everyone, all right? Do business with people that you want to do business with. That's how I see it. Take your butt down the street and get your hair cut from that guy. Take your butt down the street and get your social media access from that guy. All right? So that's how I see it. And we got NC Worker in the building. What up, NC Worker? Shout out to you. Have a good night, everyone. You have an amazing night as well. OTTO says, glad I caught another live. My brother, thank you so much. You are always appreciated over here.
We the best.
Let me see. OTTO says, exactly. Ashtray. Do I have an ashtray in here? I had one in here because it's not an ashtray, it's more of a coaster, but it looks like an ashtray. And you says, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood. That's what it was. I forgot, because don't be a menace. So Menace to Society, South Central, the movie South Central, while drinking juice in the hood. Where did they? I don't know where the while drinking juice comes from, but the hood would be boys in the hood. I forgot where the while drinking juice comes from, but yes, you are 100% right. That is the name of the movie. That is the name of the movie. And on that note, on that trip down memory lane, we're going to wrap it up. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate every last one of you. Have a amazing, amazing night. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. TechCoach.dev. Get access to Resume Flow, get access to Tickle Barbarian's coaching portal, get access to the Speak Precisely app, join us for Vibe Code and Chill, and get access, and join us for our swim nights. OTCO says the movie Juice. Yes, Juice. I got the juice now. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys take care. Tickle Trough. We are out.
Dojo, ain't no days off. The way isn't training, you don't bleed in practice, you die in the field. Look, swinging the wood till my knuckles are bleeding. I don't need rest, it's the combat I'm needing. 10,000 hours, I'm locked in the zone. Carving my spirit right down to the bone. Stepping my radius, watch how I sever. I'm swinging this blade like I do this forever. Practice make lethal, the rest make me cold. I'm gripping the steel till my body gets old. You talking that talk, but you skipping the gym. I look at the weekend, I pity for him. Every single morning, I wake up and strike. You never seen discipline looking like. I empty my lungs and I swing out the chest. I treat every shadow like it is a test. The way is the practice is war. I leave all my enemies down on the floor. Rap at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Look at the calluses covering my hands. I'm executing these tactical plans. You sleeping in late, I was up in the dark. Leaving the den in the wood and the bark. Slow down the tempo, I'm taking my time. Perfect the angle, I perfect the crown. 1,000 more cuts just to build up the muscle. You don't understand the extent of the hustle. Drilling the parry, I'm drilling the block. I'm beating the sun and I'm beating the clock. There ain't no secret, there ain't no hack. You step on the battlefield, you don't come back. Unless you put hours and hours of sweat. I am a consequence, I am a threat. Continual practice, I never retreat. I'm dropping the opposition at my feet. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. No days off, no excuses. You skip a day, you slip away. Strike 1,000 times before the sun is up. My mind is heavy, but my blade is light. Drill it again. Yeah. Aggressive approach when I step in the ring. I swing with the force that a hurricane bring. Master the form till the form is a ghost. I'm doing the most when you're doing the least. I turn myself into tactical beast. The ways in training is session my brain. I'm walking through fire, I'm walking through rain. Ain't no arrival, it's only the grind. I'm leaving the rest of the rookies behind. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop.